you're done scraping the top, you finish with 120 grit sandpaper, and now you should have a nicely smooth and nicely curved top, outside of the top anyway. Before we start carving the inside, we drill some holes to give us an indication of where to stop carving, and to do that I've set up my drill press so that the drill stays 6 millimeters, a bit over shy of depth stop here. 6 millimeters is about a quarter inch. So I can now start drilling and stay a safe 6 millimeters away from the outside. And the holes you just drilled in the top serve as a guide to tell you now how deep to carve at this stage. No need to get carried away and turn your top into a Swiss cheese, because it's just an indication, and the 6.5 millimeters or quarter inch that we leave now thickness are ample for later tap tuning. So let's see, you can clamp your top to the workbench on a couple of blocks like I do here, or make one of these, and that's this is the shape of the top, and I've routed an extra channel there, so the top lies in this mold upside down like so, and I just clamp the mold to the workbench, and that gives you a lot of room to maneuver, but I don't have one for this new model that I'm making here, so I'll just clamp this top to the workbench on the blocks like so, and with my gouge and mallet remove the bulk of the material before switching to a plane and scraper blades and then sandpaper. I think I'll continue with a plane now. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a pocket of resin emerged when I was carving, but it looks like it's just going to fall within the sound hole, so I'm probably going to carve that out. Yeah, so I'll just pretend I didn't see that. When the marks you made on the drill press before don't show anymore, that means you're nearly there, and the top is about 6.5 millimeters or a quarter inch thick, and that's good for now. You can check with calipers if you want to be sure of the thickness, although it's not very important, because what we're doing now is we're going to tap tune the top. If you're not tuning to a specific note, then you're probably tuning to have the top vibrate as freely as possible and still be able to resist string tension later. So tap like so, and what you want to hear is some sustain, bass of course, and in a nice relation to the mids and highs, and this is very hard to explain in words, so if this is your first guitar, then maybe, or first Archtop, then maybe stick to 6 to 6.5 millimeters for the top, and bear in mind that we're going to do a recurve on the edges of the top later, so you can also press the top as you lie it on the bench and see what happens there. There should be some movement. If it doesn't move at all, it's probably still too thick. Final thickness would be about, for a really flexible top, would be 6 to 6.5 millimeters, or maybe 3/16 or a bit under for really stiff tops, but don't go too thin, because you'll lose the sound of an archtop. It's going to sound just like a steel string flat top guitar, and that's not what we're after when we make archtops. So. Finish the inside of the top with 220 or 320 grit paper, and then mark your sound hole. I use these, I think they're referred to as cat eye shaped sound holes, but you can use the F hole or S-shaped sound hole, a bit more contemporary. If you're binding, then make sure that it's big enough, and let's see, well, then drill a couple of small holes and take out the old fret saw, or maybe you have an electric scroll saw, and cut out the holes.